What's going on, guys? My name is MrHurriicane, and I have a dual commentary here with Wyza and I, covering kind of the information that's out so far about Madden 25. I know I've done my trailer videos already, but we have some good discussion in here and some things I didn't say in my earlier videos, and I think it's a good listen, so hopefully you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys later. What's going on?
All right, now I don't sound like I'm talking to myself. To me, I would like to say that the trailer looked pretty fine. There was some things that we got to see in it that, would give us a positive impression.
Yeah, because we had an idea in mind of what needed to be improved. Like, if you ask me, I'm looking at blocking AI, and the main issue there is, like, guys coming off the edge and whether you can trust your fullback to actually come around and hit that guy before he makes the tackle, or a guard pulling, and a lot of counters and plays that are in the game just aren't effective against certain formations because the computer AI just can't handle it. And there's other things like pursuit angles on the defensive side, guys getting caught in traffic, shooting up the wrong gap on like an outside run. And there's a lot of things that I think are positive you can take away from this trailer. Not a lot, but at least a positive indication.
Right. One thing that I always think about when I see the defensive side of the ball, and it always got me wondering, all right, with the new game coming out, please tell me that these two things are fixed, these two things. And with them showing the defensive side of the ball, it kind of helps, but we need to see the gameplay to confirm it. But those two things for me are, one, the blocking engagement with guys that are pulling or fullbacks leading, needing to engage with a player. And another one on the defensive side of the ball now is pretty much parting the Red Sea, as I call it, where the blockers will literally move out of the way and the defender gets just a beeline path right to the ball carrier. Now, in this game, it looked like there was just a lot of carnage going on. There was always a hat on the hat. Guys were getting involved with, the blocking and just trying to find someone to lay a block on, which I was looking for.
The AI looks better, and once you get the AI down more, and the engine's tuned more, because I was just thinking, like, when you said that, parting the Red Sea, like, we never see, like, linebackers try to shoot up a small, narrow gap and, like, fall down because they ran into their own defensive end. So maybe that's part of the thinking behind that.
Oh, maybe.
We're always talking about running backs falling down.
Yeah, let's even this thing out a little bit. But, yeah, hopefully they clean up both of those. But you know the animation I'm talking about, right? Let's say you're running a toss, and this happened a lot this year with the toss, where it's like your blockers would literally move out of the way, and the linebacker would just come and destroy the running back or the ball carrier, whoever it is.
Yeah, on that first line, usually it's like the tight end or whoever's out kind of off the edge of the left tackle. They're going to usually have a shorter blocking animation, or they're going to miss a guy. Mm-hmm. And there's just so many things that got to be cleaned up, because you can look at a formation and be like, we have a 2-on-2 situation here, but I just can't trust the blocks to be made.
Right. Now, here's one thing that I looked at this trailer and I was just very, very, very glad about. I didn't see the suction tackling. And what I mean by the suction tackling is a guy isn't getting sucked into a tackle, or when someone is wrapping up the ball carrier, their arms and their hands are actually touching the guy. Now, they don't got the grabbing part down just yet. They're not pulling on any jerseys, or they don't really got that animation down just yet. But at least there's hand-to-hand contact on the ball carrier, which to me is a very big thing. And
you got to look at the diving and lunging tackles, because that's your secondary right there. How many secondary players can man up against most running backs or receivers and just tackle them like that? They got to go low. That's how they play.
Yes, definitely, for sure. And we saw that Patrick Willis was probably going to have the highest hit power in the game. Ray Lewis is gone. Pat Willie is going to have the highest. And we saw that there was actual drag animations, like him struggling to take down a ball carrier.
There's so many things that come into play there. Like, if you take a bad angle at a guy and he's got too much speed, then you should have to drag him down. You shouldn't be able to overpower him because of a hit power rating.
Yes. Now, the main concern, because I'm pretty sure right now we're probably sounding like EA fanboys, as they like to call it, and we want to stay neutral. We want to stay unbiased with this thing. So we have to be concerned about the consistency. What we're seeing now is just trailers They're probably just going to give us the best parts that they found in the trailers or them playing in the gameplay. And that's what they're going to give to us so that we can be excited about it. So the main concern is consistency with the good, because we know that there's going to be some bad. Now,
definitely.
That we'll see once we actually start seeing actual gameplay, which is they'll probably give us real gameplay once E3 starts, which is next month, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So once they give us the full gameplay, or even if they give us just a quarter, which is what they did last year, they gave us a quarter to work with, and we were able to completely break it down. Then we'll really be able to let you guys know just how consistent things are going to be, what we could really look forward to. And I'm pretty sure that even though they have the E3 version, like, the game that they play at E3, that's not going to be the final version. I'm sure of it. I had two guys, Regular Dave and Smalls, they went to E3 last year, and they played the game. And the game that they played and the game that we got, they said it was completely different. So it'll probably be in this beta phase at that point. So, we can take what we see as a
still
grain
got
of
the demo
salt.
later too.
We'll have the demo as well. And the demo is probably the demo, they claim it's the beta. The demo is pretty much the final version. Pretty much. They may tweak some things, but not really much. But the Infinity engine actually looked like it worked in this trailer. Something else we'll have to see with the gameplay. We have to actually see it in motion. But so far with the trailer, just like last year, it looked well. It looked like it was working the way it was supposed to work. For this gen system, I'm thinking more positively toward the next gen. Maybe we'll be able to see more. But for what we're going to get on this gen, I think that this is probably the best that they're going to get to. What's your idea of the Infinity engine that you saw with this?
So far it looks good, but I don't think we saw a lot of negativity when we saw the Infinity engine in trailer form last year, so exactly. I'm not giving them the pass yet. I do see interactions that are clearly better than Madden 13, and one of the examples in this video is the J.J. Watt, where he is going around the right tackle and he tackles Ray Rice. That's a great play right there. And that's what we need to see more of. But until we see all 22 guys, because all we're seeing is guys like basically, make tackles and stuff. I want to see the left tackle and the defensive end fight.
Yeah,
the defensive end, a good defensive end wins that fight and sacks the quarterback only a couple times a game at the most. He'll get hurries and stuff, but I want to see how the blocking works together and the interaction there. Not just whether he can go there and make a block sequence occur, but how well it holds up in the animation phase, and whether there's like the disengage and you run around the guy. That is so ugly.
I actually like that they showed different animations for block sheds. It looked like there were guys that were getting a hand on someone, to try to at least make an attempt to block them. Now,
did you notice the double team block?
I noticed a couple of double team blocks, yes.
That's huge.
Now, we need to see that more in the passing game as well.
Especially because you're going against 3-4 defenses, and, you want to be able to double-team guys like Haloti Nada, those big, strong guys, J.J. Watt. You got to double-team. And plus, when guys drop back 9, 10 guys in coverage, I want to see the game be able to, okay, 1-on-3.
You don't want to see that lineman.
You're going to stand in the pocket till the quarter's over.
Because, what people would do is they'll rush 2 or rush 1, and, you'll have guys just standing around dancing or whatever. No, if that guy breaks, somebody needs to drop back. Keep the protection around that quarterback. Form a pocket. Double block this guy. Do something. Just don't stand around just chopping your feet. That's not what we want to see. And that's not what we're going to see until we actually get the game. We're not going to see that at E3. We're not going to see it when they're playing the game. That's something that we're going to see when we get our hands on it. And when those guys, and you know who those guys are, starts really breaking down the game and giving, finding all the nanos and finding all the little, different things like that. That's when we'll see the real Madden. And that's when everybody get upset. So I'm hoping that they did some things to improve upon that. And the main thing is awareness. Awareness needs to be key in this Madden for this Madden 25 game. Awareness needs to be key.
Definitely. And let me ask you this. Now, what did you think of the Run Free trailer as the introduction to Madden 25?
Well, being that I went down there to, I played the game and I checked out the modes and all of that, I knew that the running was going to be the main focus this year. Last year was passing, and I remember last year I was saying, man, they're doing a lot of focus on passing, and I actually got into like little back and forths with guys like they got 400 something catch animations, but we can't get any running animations. So this year they put all of their stock into the running. And don't get me wrong, they did tighten up defense on the tight end screen seams and things like that. The seam routes, they tightened those up a bit. But the focus was the running this year. And I want to say I like the moves. I just don't like the control scheme for them. It's just way too much that you got to do. We don't have to hold the left trigger down to get out some right thumbstick moves. That shouldn't be necessary. I guess you got.
I was not ever playing like 2K ISO.
Mm-hmm. See, and I pretty much playing football games. 2K got me started. 2K5 I played for about 4 years. 2K8 I played for 3 years. All of this straight. So I was used to their running game, and you could do everything from the right thumbstick, or you can actually charge up your moves, and I like that. Some people don't. They say it's arcadey or whatever, but their pitch was bringing out the maximal potential in moves. And not everybody can do every move. You can't have, let's use these year guys. You can't have Reggie Bush shoulder charge somebody. No matter how much you charge up, he's probably not going to pull that move off. But if you have Adrian Peterson and you go for that shoulder charge, it's going to be massive. So they respected that running backs had different styles. So you couldn't really abuse it that way. Plus, it drains your stamina as well.
Once they find the solution, once they make it possible for a guy with 95 speed to be a poor running back, if you can't succeed with Felix Jones, then they've done their job correctly. We're still trying to get there, though. Speed still kills.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. If you have speed.
And that ties back into awareness, though.
Yes. Height as well. Height matters as well when it comes to the passing game. But definitely the, awareness is such a big thing. And it just seems like, they just gave guys numbers, but didn't really respect the numbers that they gave them. And when I say numbers, I'm talking about their ratings.
Yeah, I'm telling you, one rating right here that could be so key in differentiating receivers would be using route running and route running. Really, make that a really key attribute, because what they should be doing there is that's part of speed out of your breaks. And that's what makes a guy like Larry Fitzgerald better than a guy like probably Cordero Patterson at running
it will
certain
definitely
routes.
It'll make up for his slow speed.
Yeah, exactly.
And the best example I can give for that, and I think that you probably mentioned this because of 2K. In 2K, if you had a guy with good route running, that's the guy you kind of wanted to shoulder your passing game toward.
That's exactly what I did. I had Rocket Ismail and I had Jerry Rice. And
Jerry Rice for Seattle was like a beast because he was slow. I think he had like 84 speed, but his route running was top notch. Plus, consistency and stamina were huge in that game. Huge. Consistency was probably the hugest. You couple that with route running, then you got something to start building on. But right now, everything is just speed, speed, speed. And that's why you see guys just go deep on every play. Or they'll do like that corner route. Or, just something quick. Whereas, and I hate to beat the dead horse, 2K was not a perfect game. Let me say that. But when it came down to the fundamentals, they knew what ratings had to be respected. And if you had a slow guy, if he didn't have route running, he was a bum. If he had good route running, it made up for his slow speed. Then consistency mattered with the catching. You couple consistency with the catching, then they have to go hand in hand. If he had consistency but couldn't catch, the consistency would help out his catching.
Where we see this actually on display is with tight ends, because linebackers are very poor in coverage, and that's why guys like Gronk, Hernandez, Jason Witten, Vernon Davis are all very good. Jason Witten's not a fast guy, but you could go get 100 yards easy on somebody if you get a mismatched linebacker. Now, it's way different with defensive backs and receivers because it doesn't seem to be a huge gap.
I will say this: the safeties play that tight end much better now. From what I saw, they definitely, because I was out there like, all right, let's play this like the last Madden. Let me just throw a bunch of tight end seams and see what happens. And actually, they tried to do that to me, and I would just play it a bit tighter. I didn't even have to, come up to the tight end. I didn't have to bump or anything like that. I just would move the safeties just a little bit inside. And keep them about 10 yards off the ball, 10 to 12 yards. And if it was a seam, they were right there every single time. Now, that's me harping on what I played. And now I'm thinking, all right, what I played and what they're showing us in these trailers is a bit different, so I don't want to put too much stock into that. But I do want to say that it felt good with them closing in on the ball. Tackling was on point when I played it. It's just that it wasn't what I'm seeing now. It's a bit different.
I think we're really seeing improvement over the last few years. Like, I think Madden 12, they finally released a good game on this current generation. I didn't like anything previous on this gen, but Madden 12 was a turning point. Madden 13 was a transitional game because of a new engine. And now this is all about taking steps in the right direction. So we have to see more before we can really know what Madden 25 is. But look at the subtleties in the gameplay and try to find those little keys like Navarro Bowman and how he tries to fend off a blocker with his arm while he runs away and makes an open field tackle. Those are the subtleties we have to focus on. And as long as they make the game better, I'm not going to complain.
Right, definitely. I want to close this thing out. I'm pretty sure that we've gone for a long time.
Long enough?
Long enough?
This is not just a defensive talk trailer anymore.
Yeah, because that's how I know. Like, we went way off.
You better grab that run-free gameplay and spice it up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Plus, we're gonna want to save a lot of what we want to say for new trailers and things that's going to come out. Because they're going to be coming out with the connected franchise mode on the 20th, parts 1 and part 2. And I'm pretty sure we're going to have a lot to talk about with that.
Oh, you know I will.
Especially you.
Oh,
Especially you. So that's all for me. I hope you guys like what you heard. Sound off in the comment section. I'll let you guys fight it out down there.
Well, Wyza and I will probably tag team some more things along the way because we're both football guys at heart. So thanks, Wyza, for having me on, and it's been fun.
All right.